You're watching Pyro Media Network.
Thank you for tuning in. If this is your first time joining us, welcome. We hope your experience is fruitful. Please feel free to visit our website to find out how you can join our growing family. While we are loading your experience, please do us a quick favor and hit that like button from whichever platform you're watching or listening on. Also, share so others may enjoy as well. And we hope you would consider hitting that subscribe or follow button so you can check out more of our amazing content. All right, let's start the show.
He loves her a lot. He cherishes her.
And you say that with tears.
That's my baby.
And Mr. Williams, you are not the father.
There you go. I rest my case, Your Honor. Look out.
You are not the father.
Can I give her a hug?
If she will allow you.
Look out. I'm sorry.
Christian ain't good with forgiving, ain't turning my cheek, now I'm raising that pistol. Lord, forgive me. With all my prayers, with all my strength, with all my pain, I'm fighting this war. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done. No turning back, 'cause I'm free.
Hey, spread the word to my people, yeah. The spirit fell on me, told me fight against the evil, not turn, yeah. Fuck the sticks now, nigga, give me burners. Hold up, hey, spread the word to my people, yeah. The spirit fell on me, told me fight against the evil, not turn. We in the streets, now we all got burners. Hold up, hearing voices in my head say I need to be.
Hey, what's up, y'all? Welcome to Dirty Laundry, the podcast with KO. Here we pull no punches and dive head first into the challenging conversations that the Black community needs to have. From economics, inner city violence, to abortion, to religious fanaticism, white folks, and everything in between. I mean, we tackle the tough issues that shape the Black experience with honesty, courage, and a vision for growth. Now, I'm not going to lie to you. Some conversations are going to get messy, but hey, that's why we do laundry. We wash it, we rinse it, and then we rebuild. So without further ado, y'all, welcome to the show. Let's just go ahead and start the pre-wash with Kwame Speaks.
What up, my brother?
What it do, my brother? How you doing? Good to see you.
Man, chilling like a villain. Good to hear you too, brother.
Good to hear you.
We got a couple of things on the docket today. Let's get on into this pre-wash, if you will. First and foremost, we got a couple of things. First up, we got Drewski, Stephon Diggs, and Meg Thee Stallion. We're gonna get all into that today. First up, Drewski. Let me pull up my notes here. Drewski has landed a big gig. The comedian will be hosting the 2026 BET Awards. So while he, in between his trolling of Erica Kirk and everybody, he is going to be also hosting the 2026 BET Awards, which I'm actually looking forward to seeing him do. So congratulations to you,
Shout
brother
out
Drewski,
man. Shout out.
Yes. And actually kind of lining up to with your theme today, Stefon Diggs, brother. Stefon Diggs, as you guys know, Stefon Diggs and Cardi B have broken up, but they do have a baby together. So people are saying that that Stefon Diggs, it was being reported that he was saying that he called dating Cardi B his worst decision, and he has flat-footed said he has denied those allegations on the report. He says, and I quote, "I'd never speak on the mother of my kid like that." So shout out to him for actually doing that. That's actually really dope of him to defend his the mother of his kid out like that. For me, it gave me him a couple of brownie points, if you will. So shout out to Stefon Diggs. I don't
Offset.
You know what? You a mess.
Offset.
A mess. Anywho, now going on to Meg Thee Stallion and Clay Thompson. Now, we've been talking about this for the past week or so. I love Meg. I'm a huge Meg Thee Stallion fan. I'm a huge just ride or die for her. I think she is a dope rapper, and I think she is just a dope.
Like her too, man. But like Meg, man, she like, you know, the rent cycle.
No comment. So, but a lot of people are dumping on her right now, like especially like people like Stephen A. Smith, which by the way, nobody really gives a damn about. In my personal opinion, I think he's very coony, but that's a whole nother conversation.
Oh man. Oh. Hey man. Hey Stephen A. What up, man? Shout out to Stephen A.
But yes, a lot of people are dumping on her. People are saying on one hand, how are you going to sit there and try to count her bodies when there's people who have men who have bodies too. So it's just a whole big debacle on there. I think personally, we're too invested in this particular relationship. I think we need to stay out of it and mind our black ass business. But at the same time, I think we also need to protect our black women, and I support you, Megan.
I agree.
So, you know, it is what it is. If he cheated on her, we don't know. She hasn't confirmed nor denied anything. But at the same time, if he cheated on her, you missed out on it. That's his business. That's their business. But like, let's leave it alone. But at the same time, we don't need to be bashing Megan for his mistakes and the bullshit. So that's just my personal opinion on it.
Hey man, you know, hey, shout out to Meg, man. You know, do your thing, man. Date them all. Date them all.
And that's gonna do it for the pre-watch, my brother. That's gonna be it for me.
All right, brother. Appreciate you, man.
All right, take it easy.
All right. Now it's time for the spin cycle, y'all. Now it's time for the spin cycle. Trip off this. Hey, Momma Baby, Daddy Maybe. Are we really holding black women accountable in the black community? That phrase didn't just come out of nowhere. It came out of a culture that got comfortable with confusion. A culture where uncertainty is normalized. Accountability is negotiable. And truth is often an afterthought. Have we created an environment where paternity can be questioned, but behavior rarely is? Where everybody wants the benefits of family, but not everybody wants the responsibility that comes with it. So, is it Momma Baby or is it Daddy Maybe? This is what's up on the spin cycle. Check this out.
You are not the father.
Told you so.
I'm sorry, Mr. G. I'm very sorry. I can see that hurt to hear. Can you tell the court where you're feeling in this moment?
Trey. This Lord. I just feel like dang though. You know what I'm saying? I'm a good dude, man. I don't deserve that. You feel me? He don't deserve that either though. But I mean, you know what I'm saying? It is what it is. We can't rewind it, you feel me? I just move forward. I'm done with her though. I'ma still be a father to him though, regardless. I still feel like
See, see what I'm saying? Like, Daddy Maybe, Momma Baby, Daddy Maybe. Wait till we come back after commercial. Just wait Wait till we come back after the commercial. We're going to jump right into it after this commercial break.
Hey, it's Pastor Kim from It's Just Kim Live Show, and you're watching Pyro Media Network.
Hey, it's Dr. Nicole D. Vick from Dr. Victorious, and you're watching Pyro Media Network.
Black mama still crying on TV. These young brothers still dying on TV. Crackers on the camera still lying on TV. 3% rappers might put it on the CD. And our leaders, most of them speechless. How you gonna preach when you ain't trying to reach us?
Cheating in the next room, making plans to be with him soon. I remember when they used to come on, man. I know this seems like a very comedic thing, but I mean, there are a lot of children out here who do not know the actual biological fathers. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna introduce my our guest for today, my teammate and regular to the show, Miss Bay Windows. So let's go ahead and get her on the show. Momma Baby, Daddy Maybe.
Spirit fell on me, told me fight against the evil Nat Turner. Nat Turner. We in the streets, now we all got burners. I'm hearing voices in my head saying I need to be.
Cheating in the next room. Making plans to be with him soon. While they talking on the telephone. Yeah.
While he rubbing my shoulders, I already got a date for the
Yeah, whatever. What's up, Miss Bay?
Hey.
Miss Bay Windows. Hey, listen, I want you to let's look at something real quick before we jump right into this conversation. Let's look at something real quick.
Start with shenanigans.
Yes, we're gonna start right with the shenanigans. Here we go. Play that thing. Run that thing.
Mr. Benny, you are not
Play patents and toys, and I've done everything that I do.
Whew, that brother looks so hurt.
Thank you.
That brother looks so hurt. Like, you see how he broke down, like,
man, like so just
and you know that it is messed up, but I'm saying think about how that man's heart got taken from him. The topic today is Momma Baby, Daddy Maybe. Miss Manal, Bay Windows, Miss Bay Windows, welcome to the show.
Thank you. That definitely is hard to watch that video. When I watch that show every now and then. I can't watch Paternity Court too often.
Why not?
It's too much. It's just too much.
What you mean it's too much?
I mean, on both sides though. You know what my least favorite, but favorite, right? Because the level of drama is real, so I appreciate it. However, it be too much for my soul. Is when the mother of the son comes on and she's speaking for him. That's not his baby. My son told me he would never have slept with her, and she sleep with everybody in town. And then the baby ended up being her son's.
Yeah, but but that's not what we're talking about tonight.
I was telling you, Paternity Court is not my favorite show.
That was the last. We held black men accountable.
Okay, you said shift the gears. Okay, so first of all, she got on there. She was real beat. Her face was beat. beat to the gods. Okay. However, for this man to have to find out in that manner that that child was not his, sis, she needed a few conversations.
Yeah, but what I want to talk about is the long-term effects of that. Like, I know people who have went like 20 years like thinking that somebody was their father just to find out that it was not the daddy. Hey, what Kanye say? 18 years, and on the 18th birthday found out it wasn't his. Now, I ain't saying she a gold digger. What's your thoughts, Miss Manal?
Look,
I'm gonna let you cook. Go on, cook.
No, so it's really challenging for me because, again, I've been doing this work for a very long time from different angles. And I believe that women absolutely do need to be held accountable for the position that they're putting themselves in, that they're putting these children in, and the position that they're putting these men in. Whether you are the kind of individual who got this man in a chokehold, or you're the kind of woman who is just keeping him from being a part of the child's life, or you the woman who is just extorting a brother just because you can. No matter what seat you're sitting in, women absolutely need to be held accountable for their actions. And so I think this is a very necessary conversation. I'm gonna always come for the men, but if it's the woman needs to be coming for too.
So
with love, but we're gonna address it.
But I'm saying, why you always gotta come for the men? Don't you think that me as the man should be talking to the men about their conduct? And don't you think that women are supposed to be talking to women about their conduct?
I agree with that. I do. But here's the part where I think we do need to hear from each other. We need to hear from each other in terms of just being able to express very clearly the ramifications and the effects that we have on each other. As men, you all do need to hear from us. When y'all doing XYZ, this is how it affects us in XYZ manner, and vice versa. So that's where the conversation has to go across the genders. However, I do believe that women need to address women, because we know when women are playing games. You calling me up talking about how you about to get him to pay for your breast lift, ma'am. And as your friend, I can't just let you sit in that seat and just do that man wrong. You're calling me up talking about how you cussed him out and you ain't let him see your kids until you get some child support, even though he is trying to come pick up his children to care for them. You talking to your girlfriend, and your girlfriend is either hyping you up or she's telling you, sis, that ain't right. And so as women, we do need to hold each other accountable, for sure.
I'm saying, like, I could just hear this in barbershops and beauty shops across the globe. But but I'm saying, like, let's take it off of the guy and the girl, or the man and the woman, and let's really focus in on the long-term effects that will have on children, their ability to have and sustain meaningful and positive relationships with a significant other, and all of that. Like, I think that, like I say this all the time, like, it's her body, her choice, all of that, and women get to make their own choices. But I don't think that we hold Black women accountable enough for some of their decisions. Like, we live in a culture where you got songs like, can you pay my bills? Can you pay my telephone bill? Right? I don't want no scrubs. But where's the song that says, you had a baby by somebody else, put me on child support, right? And it's not even my child. Go.
I think we're still waiting for that hit to drop.
Shout out to Kanye.
I mean, it is a reality that a lot of these individuals face out here. And I mean, that's not our story, but there are a lot of people that are out here with that. And in that regard, yes, ma'am, that's wrong. That's wrong to do that man that way. That is wrong to do that child that way. That child is sitting up here calling somebody daddy who is not their father. That's not their other half. That's not the other piece of them. There's going to be spiritual ramifications for that. There's going to be emotional and mental ramifications for that. Absolutely. Because it doesn't matter what the relationship is with that other parent. that child is going to need the other half of themselves at some point. And
Absolutely.
so, you know, passing off one man as your child's father just because he cute, just because he's willing to be there, just because you can get money from this individual, you know, for whatever carnal, external, emotional reasons you have, it's unfair to the child for them to not know who their other parent is and for you to use that man for your own personal gain. That's wrong. That's wrong. And so whatever you got going on, you need to free yourself, you need to free that man, and you need to free your child. And it's going to come with some hurt and some pain and some tears and whatnot. And hopefully you can call your sister circle at that point and say, hey, I'm ready to be honest and truthful, and I need some support. But you got to free everybody so everyone can go on with their lives.
I can hear it now. I could just hear it from the women who are watching the show. Like, she's a pick me. You are definitely being called to pick me right now. From not, how dare she betray us? It's woman's creed.
It's cool, but you know what's so crazy though? Real talk. So like with my son, yes, I got pregnant. Me and his father like ended things because he had another situation going on, and I want to be involved in all of that. And then I moved on to someone else before I found out that I was pregnant, right? And so when it came time for me to birth my son, I did get a DNA test right away. And I was praying it was the other dude. I ain't even gonna lie to you, because the way we ended it, I was praying it was guy number 2 and not guy number 1, but it ended up being guy number 1. But the reality is I've lived through this. And when I tell people I've been every woman, I have been every woman. Which is why I can sit in this seat and say what I say, sis.
Yeah.
I had to let that man know he wasn't the father, and I had to let the other one know for sure. Our fears have come to fruition. It's yours. You know, we had to have that very honest conversation. And yes, I had to pay money to get that DNA test. I absolutely did. But I had to do it because I have to live in truth and reality. And so did these men. And I wanted my son to know who he was. Half of me, half of his father. He had to know. And it came a lot from growing up watching all those episodes of Ricky Lake and Oprah and Montel, you know,
like Maury Povich.
Right, yeah, like
not the father. Man, listen, the one thing I'm gonna tell you as a man, I really think this is distasteful, and I don't think it's mature. Like, you guys are already airing out your dirty laundry on national television. Once you find out that the baby's not yours, don't run across the stage and taunt the lady and make a mockery of her. You know what I'm saying? Like, to me, that's so distastefully done. Like, I don't think that's cool. You know what I'm saying? But how do you feel about, there's a new thing that's being pushed right now where men are going to be required, or women are going to be required to do a DNA test on the father before they leave the hospital.
I agree with it wholeheartedly. And I agree with it wholeheartedly because we live in a world now where we sticking and moving. And it's not just the men anymore. You know, it was never just the men, but it was definitely higher rates of men versus women. But now when we're in this
matter of perception. That's a matter
of perception. I leave it alone. I ain't in nobody's bedroom. I haven't taken.
We talk about Woodstock.
Summer of Love. Point taken. I'm gonna leave it alone. But at this day and time, when we are as women, you know, we are saying that we are liberated women and we can do as the men do. We're sticking and moving just as much as they are. And so in that regard, we're the ones who carry the children. If you having 18 different penises in you in the matter of 4 months, you don't really know who the daddy is. If you got 2 penises in you, you don't really know who the daddy is. So we have to do our due diligence and say, you know what, let me be honest up front. It's not about how much child support I can get. It's not about your face being on the baby shower flyer. You know, it's not about, you know, me not showing up as a loose individual that I am for the family. You know, it's about prioritizing the child. And it is. And I'm not saying loose like that, y'all. Live your life. But the responsible thing about it is,
don't do any retractions.
I'm just saying that I believe in the whole phase, so we're not gonna go there. You gotta learn yourself. You gotta learn how to set boundaries. You gotta learn what works and what doesn't. But the responsible thing is once you get pregnant, you gotta make sure that you get that test, ma'am. You know what you was doing.
Hold on for a second. Let's not zoom past.
We didn't zoom.
The whole phase. Now, that's not right, because that whole phase, I believe, is where these illegitimate children come from. I believe that, this is where, you got 3 different guys that you got on the string. You got numbers in the shoebox. You got a dude that you thinking about, or before you break up with the dude that you with, and then you go have a one-night stand, or you have a little sneak off with him, and then you come back after your whole phase, and here us is.
So here's the thing.
Are we endorsing the wrong things?
We're going to define our term. We're going to
define that for me, please.
So there's a big difference between being a hoe and being promiscuous, right? When you a hoe, you ain't got no standards. Your standards are constructed, right?
Well, I understand. Hold on for a second.
Life.
Hold on for a second. I understand hoe phase. I understand the nuances, but I'm saying
you understand it because you experienced it.
To those hoes.
Did you have a hoe phase?
To those hoes.
No, don't smile. Did you have a hoe phase?
To those hoes who go out.
Are we gonna be honest around here or what?
This is not about me right now. It's not about me right now.
Oh, okay.
You had your opportunity. You had your opportunity to do that with me. You had the opportunity to do that with me. Right?
You just wiggled up out of there like that.
Well, here's the thing. There's no need to juxtapose my experience to what we're talking about right now. We are talking about women and their whole phase and bringing forth children that are not only illegitimate, but they are saying that the children belong to someone else and they don't. And we're seeing the long-term results of that in our society, right? So the whole phase, even though you say there's a protected sex in whole phase, I'm talking about the ones that didn't protect themselves and brought forth some kids and said, this your baby. And it is not his baby.
No,
and then I'm crying on paternity court.
I'm absolutely with you. When I say I believe in the whole phase, it's a reality. It's a reality that most people exist in. And in the world that we live in, when girls think that they can, be the next sexy red out here, it is something that is absolutely commonplace. Now, because it is commonplace, there are safeguards that you can utilize that protects you, that child, and that man. Okay. And one of them is having that paternity test before you leave the hospital, period.
Agreed.
Because you have more than one penis. Now, if you was having a good time, cool, do your thing, ma'am. But don't move past that moment trying to convince this man that he is the father, whether that's your husband, whether that is your boyfriend, your fiance, the love of your life who's giving you chicken wings every Friday night. It don't matter. You owe that man the truth, and you owe that child the truth.
You absolutely do. This brings me to Life, the movie Life, when they was lining up all the prisoners. And Bernie Mac said, "Got it, Pappy." I'm just saying, like, as comical as these things seem when we see them on the big screen, they're not comical in real life, because the damaging effects of somebody not knowing who their father is.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? It causes a ripple effect in our communities, right? So now young men who, like, say I find out, like, somebody who's been telling me that my dad was this person my whole entire life. And then I find out that this person wasn't my dad. As a man, I'm gonna look at my mama different. What do you think about that? Should the child look at their mom different, or should they, like, because I seen a show where on Ayanna Van Zant where they was lying on the daddy so hard that he had to come on and exonerate himself. What do you think about that?
I absolutely think that mom needs to be looked at, and not even necessarily differently, honestly. Like, look at mom, honestly. I
Yeah.
think a lot of the challenge is that we do hold our mamas and grandmamas and big mamas in high regard because that's the way our culture and society is set. So mama, big mama, grandmama, they can't do no wrong. And that is a fallacy. We if we're wanting to actually heal our family lines, both mom and dad have to be able to be held accountable equally for the choices that they make. And
Absolutely.
we can have all of the reasons in the world. I can say I was doing the best with what I had at the time. It sounds so good. But when your child is growing up not knowing who they are completely and they don't know who their parent is, honestly, and you made the choice to keep that child from their father for whatever reasons, then yes, you do need to be held accountable for the damage. You do need to address the fact that you did not make the best choice. I don't care what that man got going on. That child deserves to know who they are. And I think about, my own son. Like, I made sure that I always kept records of who his dad was, where he was, kept pictures and everything. My days of watching talk shows, I knew one day he was going to come to me and say, Mom, who is my dad?
Absolutely.
And I wanted to make sure I could provide all the information to him that I could possibly find. And it did get to a point where he was like, Mom, where did I get my ears? Where did I get my nose? Like, my feet don't look like your feet. And I had to say, hey, like, you right, they don't. That's your dad. But he had questions. He had questions that I could answer. So I know a lot of times as women, we say, well, at least this man wants to be here. At least this man can provide for us. At least this man is nice. At least this man does want to come pick up the child for me and help me out, right? This man got some good dick, so I'm gonna go ahead and choose this one. But is that in the best interest of the child? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And it's not in the best interest of that man either, because especially if he doesn't know. If he's around and he is caring for your child as the father and he doesn't know, you're not acting in the best interest of that man. You're acting selfishly, and you do need to be held accountable.
I appreciate your stance on that. Like, so, I hear a lot of times women do that based on proximity. This guy might be a better suitor, and then you already have him in your clutches. So now it's just one of them things where you just say, okay, well, you the daddy, and you can be the daddy. I've heard horror stories of women dying and never telling their children. Like, think about this. What if your child need like a transplant?
Man.
What if your baby need a transplant or something like that? Like that's so I had a woman tell me one time, she was like, I was like, well, your son doesn't look like the dad that you said was his. And she proclaimed to me, well, he mine. And I was like, oh, that's so bad. So what do you think? What do you think could help us prevent these types of things from happening in the Black community? What is your stance on that?
Well, I will say this too.
Outside of the whole phase.
No, I mean, before you get to the whole phase. I mean, the solution is before you get to the whole phase, right? Mm-hmm. So the reality is how we teach our girls and boys, how we train our daughters and sons to be more protective of themselves and understand reality based off of our stories and experiences. If we are more honest and forthcoming with who we have been and the lessons that we learned with our children, that's a way for them to at least get a glimpse of who we are, who we have been, and the possibilities of life, right? And then when they do start dating and when they do start showing interest, it needs to be safeguarded. Like, why y'all let these kids just be online and on the phones and going places and you don't know who they with and you don't know what's going on? Like, why? You cannot be that busy. And then when your 17, your 18-year-old, your 19-year-old shows up with a baby and they trying to, choose to be a child versus a parent, like now you're all in a situation because you weren't honest and you didn't safeguard your child, right? But then here's the other element of making sure that your children know what safe sex is. There's so many times when I was working with adults and they didn't even know that a female condom existed. You got 5 kids and you don't know that a female condom exists.
Wait,
and so you
they got,
as an
they got
adult,
female. They got female. No, I'm just playing. I'm playing.
so like as adults, you are out here sticking and moving, and you don't even know about your body. You don't even know about safe sex, and now you have children. So maybe you and that 10-year-old needs to be at the spot or at Planned Parenthood learning some things, so that way you do know how to protect yourself if and when you do want to have fun, whatever that looks like. And so the other part of that is making sure that if you have a child and you know good and well you didn't have multiple penises in you,
Well,
whether it was the 5-minute man and the 2-hour man, you know good and well you had 2 penises.
Well, hold on. We live. Okay, I agree with you wholeheartedly, but let me give you some pushback. We live in a culture that's hypersexualized. Like, I mean, we have somebody who says, you know, I'm out of town and I'm thugging with my rounds, my coochie pink and my booty hole brown. So she's actually endorsing the hoe phase that you was just talking about. How do we get beyond that? Like, are we sending mixed messages to our children? Are we saying, hey, do this, but don't do this, do that, but don't do this, hey, but do that, don't do this, right? So, like, how do we find a lane that says, hey, this is inappropriate behavior in absolution. This is totally inappropriate. This is adding to moral decay in our societies. We need to do better.
You know, I wish there was a simple solution to that, but the reality is our world are so big and so expansive, and we have so many different influences coming in from all over. As adults, we are not always making the best choice, so trying to safeguard our children is not always a possibility, because we're still not safeguarding ourselves. And so one of the things that I would say to any adult, first of all, go take some sex classes for yourself.
Right.
Like that's a great place to start, because yes, you have body parts and sure you can move them and they get wet and you can do things with them and all this stuff, but you still don't really know how to protect yourself and how to safeguard yourself. You still don't have the language that puts you in a position where you are advocating for yourself for safe and healthy sexual interactions. So when you get to the point of now being pregnant and you don't know who the father is, you don't even have the language. You scared. Your ego is in the way. You don't want to piss nobody off. So you run into the truth. And so, like, there's so many other steps that are missed before we even get to the baby coming. And it's that sexual education and also that verbal confidence to say what you want, what you need, what you feel, and what's really going on. Because if you got multiple penises need to know that they in you.
Absolutely. I always use this analogy when I'm doing the workshops with talking to the boys and stuff like that. And when I had these conversations with women, I say, if I line 10 women up and one guy is in front of them, and then he takes a lie to take the test, all the women are pregnant, right? And they all take a lie to take the test and say they only slept with one guy and one guy is in front of them and they're all claiming that it was him. They take the lie to take the test, come back, they're telling the truth. Who's the daddy? He is. But if I line 10 men up, right, and one woman is pregnant, right, and then all the guys say, hey, listen, I had sex with her around this time, and they take the lie to take the test, and the lie to take the test come out and say that they all had sex with her at the same time, who's the daddy?
Only one of them.
But we got to sift through them to see. We're going to go to commercial, then we're going to come right back, y'all.
Hey, how y'all doing? Real quick, this is Daryl Walter, host of the Daryl Walter Show. I know. And you are watching Pyro Media Network.
This is Tammy from Tammy's Take, and you're watching Pyro Media Network.
Black mama still crying on TV. These young brothers still dying on TV. Crackers on the camera still lying on TV. 3% rappers might put it on the CD. And our leaders, most of them speechless. How you gonna preach when you ain't trying to reach us?
All right, y'all, we back. We back with Miss Bay Windows, Miss Manal Bay of Miss Bay Windows. Miss Manal, you know what? Before you leave the show, can you tell us what you think would be a solution to Mama Baby, Daddy Maybe?
Yeah, I think a solution that would just be very simple is just being honest. Like, and I know that sounds very, very simple. And for some people, it seems so far-fetched, right? Because I want to live my life the way I want to live my life, and I don't want any restraints. But you can you can jump over a lot of hurdles with truth and honesty. And then if and when you do get a situation where you may not know who the father is, everybody is already in the know. Everyone that has signed on to sleep with you, whoever those people are, they signed on with information. I know she's not just having sex with me because we've had an honest conversation about it. And I agree to continue to sleep with her. So if she ends up pregnant, I know there's a paternity test that's coming. Right. And so if we as adults who doing adult things with our adult bodies can have some adult honest conversations, we can definitely forego a lot of these issues that we find ourselves in and that we continue to put our children in.
Mm-hmm. That's good. I like that. And with that, thank you, Miss Manal, for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me.
We really appreciate you. And you have a good night, okay?
You too.
All right. All right. Now it's time for the rent cycle. Man, what a deep conversation, isn't it? Wasn't that a really deep conversation? I think so. I think that once we start to unpack a whole bunch of issues that we have in the Black community, I think that we have enough issues in the Black community to address so we don't have to focus on anybody else. So in too many situations, the child is the only thing that's real, while everything around them, intentions, commitments, and identities is unstable. And let's be honest, this isn't just about broken systems anymore. It's about broken decisions, broken decision making that we keep excusing, we keep defending, and we keep repeating. At some point, we have to stop blaming circumstances and start confronting choices. Because when trust is missing and responsibility becomes optional, dysfunction isn't an accident. It is a pattern. And the pattern is costing us more than we like to admit, especially when it comes to the development, identity, and stability of our children. This conversation isn't just an uncomfortable one. It challenges narratives. People have grown attached to those narratives. But if we're serious about restoring structure, clarity, and integrity back into our families, then we can't keep protecting feelings at the expense of truth, and most importantly, our children. So with that, don't forget to take your life off spin cycle. So let's just put this stuff on the clothesline real quick. Hey, I know this conversation was deep. I know it was very deep. I know it was about children. And I know it was about how we don't take responsibility for a lot of different stuff. It get difficult at times, right? Because we all just want to be loved at the end of the day, right? So what I'm saying is this. If we followed a certain way, like what we consider old-fashioned, I would have to question, will we even have Mama Baby, Daddy Maybe? This is something that was passed on and passed on and passed on and passed on through generations and generations. I mean, for God's sakes, I got uncles who found out that their father was not the father that they thought was their father. So, I mean, like, we got to do better, y'all. So with that, I always offer a book of the week. My book of the week is my own book. Again, Memoirs of a Baby Daddy, a Black man's playbook and personal growth, a Black man's playbook to personal growth and success, right? In this book, I break down my experience with being a baby father, some things that got me back aligned, some things that I thought was right, and some things that I just figured out was wrong, right? So if you want to gift this to somebody who's a mama, a baby mama or a baby daddy, it's fine. But the book has a lot of wisdom. I talk about my own experiences, and I talk about how I got to a place where I started to hold myself more accountable. All right. So with that, y'all, thanks for watching the show. You can follow me at www.imakingnetwork.com. You can follow me at I'm a King Studios on YouTube. You can follow me at Kevin R. Lewis on Facebook. And you can follow me at I'm a King Studios on Instagram. And don't forget, if you want to support KO, me, you can send me a cash app at Congo One LLC, y'all. And with that, take your life off spin cycle. Have a good night.
Thank you for watching Pyro Media Network. For more information, please visit pyromedianetwork.com.